Gary, delighted to welcome you as our new first team manager. Could you sum up how it feels to be given the opportunity to take the club forward?
Excited, privileged. I think there's no question that the football club is definitely geared for success. It's an ambitious football club. It's a club that very much aligns with my feelings and my thinkings going forward, and I'm really looking forward to being part of this. It's a football club that I've admired from afar for a long time, and I feel privileged to be the manager of the football club to take it forward.
And how have you found your time away from football since January, and what made you choose BTFC as your next move?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've enjoyed it. There's no question I've enjoyed being away from football. When you've been in it for 16 and a half years, it's a tough gig, management. It really is. I don't think people fully appreciate how tough it can be. So once you've had a bit of time out, you realise how far, much you was in. So I've enjoyed it, but not enough. Not enough to enjoyment there to not want to get back amongst it and get back amongst it at the right football club. And you ask why Billericay? Why not? I think it's a football club that's definitely playing under the level that it should be. I've just been walked around the facilities that I was familiar with anyway. The infrastructure is there. There's no question the ambition is there. I was knocked off my feet really when I met the owners. I felt, quite, privileged to get the call and be approached, and it was a really straightforward decision really. I needed to make sure that when I got back into football, it was the right football club that ticked all the boxes, and this football club very much does all of that. So I'm really looking forward to taking this football club forward.
What's your take on our season just gone and your thoughts on the current squad?
I've been assessing the best I possibly can over the last few days. I think I've taken in your YouTube channel as much as I can and watched virtually the highlights of every game. I am familiar with a lot of the players. If I haven't had battles against them, I've maybe tried to sign them, and even a couple I've actually worked with. So I'm familiar with the squad. I think respect needs to go to Dan, not just for the decision that he has taken, but also the development of the squad over the course of the season. Because there's no question that the team finished extremely well. It got stronger as the season went on. That's very much with a young squad you can see that develop. But it's my job now to come in and enhance that group and try and make it as better as I possibly can, and I'm looking forward to that challenge. It's got the basis there. I'll have some tough decisions to make over the next few days, but I'll be making sure I do them diligently and with the right thought process.
With the next season commencing in August, what are your plans over the next 3 months?
What my plans? I think I'll be full on. I think there's no question this will be a really important 3 months in my tenure at the football club. We've obviously, got to change the mindset, around the football club. It's not just about, being competitive. We want to be successful. So the next 3 months will be making sure I get the right players in, I get recruitment right. I think that's really important. We've got to make sure we're getting players in that can not only be successful immediately with us and be effective, but also look to take us into next season, the following season. In fact, if we have a real positive season this year. So recruitment is key in this job. There's no question that we can all tactically get our teams structured and organised, but when you're getting the little amount of time you do get to work with them and improve them, it's about getting the right players in the building, and that's very much where the next 2-3 months will be, is making sure this team's as strong as it possibly can to make a real serious challenge on the league next year.
After 12 and a half seasons managing Hendon in the Isthmian Premier and then moving to Hampton and Richmond in the National League South for 4.5 seasons, you will have come across us many times. What would you say are your key qualities as a manager?
I'd go. Man management. I think there's no question that that's something that needs to be at the forefront of your thinking. I think improving players. I think any player that's worked under me will know that I'm pretty demanding. I think we work on the very much on the fine details of their games. Individually, we look to improve them. Individually we look to get them as fit as they possibly can be. Individually we look to get them as strong as they possibly can be. But it's a new challenge for us. I think it's definitely a challenge that I'm looking to really get my teeth into. It's a challenge that we've got to create an identity that the fans can relate to, because I know this is a passionate bunch here. I think we've got to get the new lodge rocking as quickly as we possibly can and get them on board, and that's the challenges that lie ahead, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And what can the fans expect from a Gary McCann team?
What can they expect? Good question. Well, we've always been pretty pleasing on the eye. I think that's something that we've always looked to be offensive and thinking in terms of our offensive play. We like players to be expressive. We like players to play with a bit of imagination and freedom in the final third. But we don't mind them making mistakes in the final third as long as there's a good reaction. I think what our sides will look to have is definitely a physical output is very important to me. I don't like coming up against opposition that run more than us, that battle more than us, that are physically stronger than us. They're things that are a must in my team, and if any player comes up short in that category, it's something that I won't accept. But we do want players to play with that, as I've just said, that bit of expression. As long as there's a good reaction to any error made, then we'll have no problems. But it's trying to find a winning formula initially. That's and carry on the winning formula that maybe Dan has created here as well. But it's a side that I'm hoping will excite the fans.
And who will be joining you to form your coaching team?
Well, sitting over there is Mr. Mark Finley. He's been around me for a long time. He'll be head of medical. He'll be looking after all the sports physiotherapy stuff, injuries within the camp, which hopefully won't be too many, not like the season we've just had. But he'll also be looking after the strength and conditioning of the players as well. Anybody that's worked under Mark will know he's pretty demanding on that front, very thorough, very professional. So he's a great addition to the management team. I've also added Fabio Valenti, who's our first team coach, and will work on the analytical values of the team, and will work closely with the side in terms of improving them with the small details, but also plenty of work out on the training pitch. And I've also added David Smallsy to the team as well. He's a goalkeeping coach that's been around me along with Fabs for about 8-9 years. Again, someone I value, someone I trust, someone who will really work again very closely with the goalkeepers and be very demanding of the whoever we've got in the sticks. Also on top of that, I've got an assistant manager that has worked with me for a long time, but we're just working through the logistics on that one. He's got work commitments, and the travel is a little more than what we've been used to. So I'll keep you informed on that one, but he's one that's in the background as well.
Having met with the board, what are the targets, if any, that have been set for next season?
Well, I want to make sure everyone's aware that the board was, a big factor in me getting on board, because the minute I met them, the minute I had the call, and sat down and spoke with them, it was, I was, as I say, overly impressed. They're a real ambitious group that definitely want to take this club forward. There's no question that we're aligned on that front. They want the next level of football, and if we get the next level of football, they want the next level beyond that. So, they were, as I've just said, a big factor in me getting on board. I wanted to make sure that we were very much singing off the same hymn sheet, and they definitely were. So, looking forward to working with them. Really am.
You're obviously ambitious as a manager and have today signed a 3-year contract with the club. What are your short-term and long-term goals?
Well, short-term goals are pretty easy: to make the team as strong as it possibly can be, and to obviously find a winning formula as quickly as we possibly can, and make sure we put a team together that the fans can relate to. They're the short-term goals. The long-term goals, I think, it's pretty easy to say that promotion is the long-term goal. I haven't come to the football club to stay in this division for too long. I want to be in this division with as little time as I possibly can be, and that's again why I say the club was right, because the club is on the same page. What we've got to try and do is, as I've said earlier, is get the mentality where it needs to be to try and be one of the best 2 teams in this division next year. I want playoffs to be a focal point, of course I do, but I want playoffs to be a fall off to being one of the best 2 teams in the division. Am I confident I can muscle in on that top 2 and challenge with the right recruitment? For sure. So long-term goals would definitely be promotion, because it's what this club deserves. I think it is punching a little under its weight at the moment, because I think it's a bigger club than its status shows.
Gary, thanks for your time. We wish you all the best in your new role. Do you have a final message for the supporters?
Most important group in the football club is them supporters. I'm looking forward to meeting them in person. There's no question that they're key to any team's success. We need them on side very, very quickly. I'll do everything I can to put a team together that pleases them. There's no question of that. I'm the type of manager, I think they'll find that I'm the most approachable manager that they'll find. If they've got a qualm or a question, or they want a discussion, I'll always be floating about the football club post-game, pre-game. I have no problems having a discussion with any of them, but I'm really looking forward to representing them as their manager. I feel privileged to be part of this football club, and I'm looking forward hopefully to New Lodge rocking.